You're watching Capitol View, Sunday morning talk focused on the political scene in Arkansas.
The period opening up requests for information for a gender equity scorecard, which is pretty much an annual affair for the Women's Foundation of Arkansas, is underway. Joining me to discuss this gender equity scorecard and gender equity in general is Beth Gorman, Executive Director of the Women's Foundation of Arkansas. Tamika Edwards with Southwest Power Pool, who's been honored by the the Women's Foundation of Arkansas, and you head up diversity, equity, and inclusion at Southwest Power Pool. Thank y'all both for being here.
Well, thank you. Good to be here.
And we're old friends.
Yes, we are.
And you and I are too. Yes. We're all good friends here, so it's good. Annabeth, I come to you first. What is the gender equity scorecard for people? What are you measuring? And what's its history?
So the history of the Gender Equity Scorecard is we partnered with the Clinton School of Public Service back in 2017. We wanted to create a tool for Arkansas companies to do self-assessments, and it's taken on a couple different iterations. It's just gone through a refresh, but it's really a simple tool that companies can do a self-assessment to understand where are they currently on a scale of gender equity in the workplace, which gender equity does not just serve women, it really serves all of your employees. And do you offer a culture that is inclusive to all individuals working for you?
Pick up on that thread of what she's talking about there, because you're in a business that deploys that,
yes.
Obviously, but how does that work in the workplace?
Well, in the workplace, if we're thinking about, so DE&I, we know, has been a hot topic lately, but
just a little.
Just a little. But the end goal, so we always have to start with the end in mind. The end goal is belonging. And when we think about gender equity, is it a place where individuals can go and they have a sense of belonging? Do you belong there once you're there? What research shows us is that individuals who feel a sense of belonging within the workplace are much more productive, innovative, creative. They are much more confident. They contribute to the business in a totally different way. And so gender equity matters overall within the workplace because it helps to instill a sense of belonging.
Annabeth, tell me where we're measuring right now. So you've done this scorecard for a few years. Mm-hmm. What have you learned from that scorecard? What's changed over the last couple of years, if anything? And then we'll set up for what's coming.
So the pandemic, we needed to do a refresh, right? That changed a lot of workplace culture. And so we've updated the tool. It's now digitized on our website. It's completely confidential. So a company can take this scorecard and really understand where they fall and identify areas for improvement and opportunity within their own organization. And over the years, that's the feedback that we've actually gotten from our companies, is that they're, where they're scoring really high, but where they're scoring really low, like they want to understand other companies, how they're feeling, and what their strategies are. So we've been able to kind of share just generally, like, here are strategies in Arkansas that are working. Southwest Power Pool has participated in this program for several years, and they always a little rubbed the wrong way, right? Because they haven't won yet. They haven't been recognized. But I like to point out that this is a company in Arkansas that is continually evaluating their sense of belonging and their culture. And so we want to see companies continue to use it as a tool to measure their own progress, because you're never going to get everything completely right. Our workplace culture continues to evolve and to change. And so companies, really, I feel like there is a business case for equity and a business case for belonging. You want to continue to evolve how your company supports all employees.
Tell me how Southwest Power Pool uses the scorecard to measure itself against others.
So one of the things is when we look at equity, we see that it's embedded in our policies and our practices and all of those things. And so we use it as a tool to evaluate how are our policies, how are our practices as it relates to equity. One thing that we do every 3 years is we evaluate our salaries to make sure that we are within market and that pay equity within our organization is exactly where it needs to be. So those various questions help us to reevaluate every single year. Are we where we would like to be? Are we where our strategy has told us that we need to be? And so we just use it to continue to see ourselves for who we are.
Sounds like it leads to a lot of internal conversations.
Oh yeah, a lot of great conversations. And pats on the back now.
Yeah. She's begging for this honor, isn't she?
Well, but I think that it's an example of Southwest Power Pool has done an outstanding job of recruiting people. It is a culture. It is a standard, a gold standard, in my opinion, of like company culture, of workplace company culture. People love talking about Southwest Power Pool, love going there to work. They're taking people from other organizations. So, and again, I think it's part of it is because of this intentionality and this continued self-assessment, and we're very proud that they continue to use our tool and just one of their many tools in their toolbox.
I mean, tell me, if just as a business owner, what am I going to encounter if I decide to participate in this? What do I get something and I answer?
Yes. So again,
question. How does it work?
It's designed for a senior level executive or an HR director to take. Again, and might take 15, 20 minutes, but it's going to ask a series of questions, some related to your policies, right? Like your actual written HR policies, company policies, but you'll get a score back from the WFA within 3 business days, completely confidential, digitized. You can go to our website right now, womensfoundationarkansas.org, and you can look at it. You can I would encourage all employees to kind of move it up. Hey, maybe we should take this and see where we are. But you're going to get back your score, and you're going to get back recommendations on your score.
Okay. So how do you, when you get the score, Tamika, tell me, is it against yourself? Is it against peers? Is it?
It's against peers, right? And against ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when we take it, we look at our board makeup, our executive makeup, some of the policies that we have within our organization. And so, our score continues to improve because we're making those improvements within our organization. But even just some of the intentionality that we have are just making things move in a very positive direction. So, working in HR, having an expertise in DE&I helps us to look at a different lens at SPP, which I think has been just very productive for us.
In about 30 seconds, give me an example of something you guys changed.
Oh, so one of the things that we changed, but this was our own internal, which I think came out on the scorecard, is that we looked at the way we measured our sick leave and who we called as a part of the family. At one point, we had spouses. We changed it to domestic partners because not everybody wants to be married, but it's also inclusive of same-sex marriages.
Okay.
And so being very thoughtful about that.
How does someone participate, Annabeth? I'll give you the last word on this.
No cost to participate. Go directly to our website right now. Again, and if you want to be considered for the Olivia Farrell Gender Equity Leadership Award, which is awarded every year annually at the Arkansas Business Awards, participate now. So we encourage you to go to our website, womensfoundationarkansas.org, and look for the Gender Equity Scorecard.
Doesn't cost anything.
Doesn't
sound like
anything.
it takes a long time
Does
to
not.
do what you need to get and get it back. So,
right, yeah.
All right, good stuff. Thank you so much. I know
You're
we will
welcome.
have many other conversations, particularly as the legislative session gets closer. I think I reserve the right to have both of you.
Okay.
So, all right. Annabeth Gorman, Tamika Edwards, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being
Thank
here.
you.
Appreciate you. So, we are back with more Capitol View right after this.